Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Lysha and I'm the owner of Lysha Be Creative. Today's video is another tumbler tutorial, and so I'm going to keep this introduction kind of short and sweet today, but of course all the products that I'm using today for today's video will be listed and linked down in the description box down below. Be sure to check that description box out for discount codes as well as links to all of my social media. That is kind of it, but before you go, also be sure to like and subscribe to my channel as well as click that notification bell so that you can be in the know when I post my next video. So let's go ahead and jump right into today's tutorial. Okay, so for today's video, I'm going to be showing you my BAMF subscription box. So I just recently subscribed to the BAMF subscription box, and what I love about this is it's different from any of the subscription boxes that I've gotten in the past. It does have vinyl, and for this month, it was a collaboration with Yvette from Lysha Creations, so I got some gorgeous glitter called BAMF to go with it, but the theme for this box was Christmas in July. And so although I know that at the time that this video premieres, it's actually August 1st, I thought that this was just something that I could not pass up on the opportunity to make a cute Christmas in July tumbler. So in this vinyl subscription box, I got 10 sheets of vinyl. Then I got that beautiful decal sheet that you saw when I first opened the package. And the freebie for this month was the custom glitter mix called BAMF from Lysha Creations. So all these are really cute, like tropical, but also Christmassy themed sort of decals. Some of them are opaque sheets and others are sort of that semi-transparent. So I really love this. And so let's go ahead and get today's cup prepped. So I am using a messed up sublimation cup. I have already sanded this tumbler down. That way I can go ahead and add this cash green color from Color Shot over top. Now, when you are using your sublimation tumblers for epoxy purposes, I definitely would make sure that you are going to use a dark color and a darker glitter if possible, because your sublimation sort of print will showcase under it unless you're going to burn that off. So I'm going to go ahead and did about 2 to 3 coats of my cash spray paint just to make sure that I really did get a really nice coverage of that, and so you couldn't see so much of that through. You could still see the big sheet is in the center, but after I apply the glitter, you weren't able to see any of that print through my glitter. So I'm adding a thin coat of Mod Podge to my tumbler, and then we're going to go ahead and of course add our glitter. So this BAMF custom mix from Lysha Creations is a beautiful green color, sort of like a light green color, but it has these really cute like hearts in it, and I just thought it was just a very cute color, and this definitely goes so well with those patterns that are part of the vinyl that was in the subscription box. It just paired so well, and you could use it with any of those sheets of vinyl. So we're going to do 1 coat of glitter here. This is sort of like a medium mix glitter, I would say, especially with those heart pieces, but I'm going to cover this entire tumbler here, and I'm going to let that dry for about 40 minutes, and then I will spray seal since I'll be epoxying other tumblers, and then I will put 2 coats of epoxy on this so that it is nice and smooth and ready for sanding. So with sanding, we're going to do our traditional sanding. I'm going to sand both the top and bottom rim, which is typically what is the roughest areas. Now I went in with about 30 mLs for my first coat over the raw glitter with my epoxy, and then for my second coat I did about 20 mLs. So I don't want to sand any sides of the tumbler whatsoever because we are going to be using this semi-transparent sheet of vinyl, and anything that is sanded under this vinyl will look cloudy and not shine up. So that is something to remember if you're going to be using sort of a semi-transparent vinyl. Make sure that you are not applying that to a sanded surface because you will see all of those scuff marks under that vinyl even after you epoxy. So I chose to use the Sweet Christmas Time semi-transparent sheet, and I was just measuring it on my tumbler to make sure that I have enough room to add a section of that semi-transparent vinyl and still be able to fit the decal towards the bottom of the cup. So I've cut off about a 3-inch section here off the top of that vinyl. Then we're going to go ahead and get this lined up because this vinyl will sort of be wrapped around the top portion of the tumbler. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this in my cup cradle, and we're going to go ahead and get this all lined up and applied to the cup. So I really love to use semi-transparent vinyl, and if you're someone who maybe is just getting into using vinyl on your tumblers, or you are someone who maybe wants to try something new, a really quick and easy sort of tumbler design is using a solid colored glitter or a colored glitter, applying your epoxy over top of that, and then applying something like a semi-transparent vinyl over top. What I love about these semi-transparent vinyls, and I've talked about them before because I also get them from Lysha Creations in my vinyl subscription box from her, is that they are printed with a white backing, so you could apply them to any colored tumbler. So I could apply this directly onto a black base and you'd still be able to see the vibrancy of the colors because it has that white inked backing, which allows those colors to still stay vibrant. So I really love semi-transparent sheets. This is a really quick and easy sort of tumbler design to do. You could do the full tumbler with the semi-transparent vinyl. You could do sections just like I'm doing here, and it really could be just that design itself. So we've gone ahead and I've applied that vinyl all the way around the top portion of the cup. This ended up going on a little bit crooked for me and the bottom did not quite line up. So I am going to go ahead and fix that here by just adding a little bit of tape to the bottom here. So I'm going to use my electrical tape for this. And I'm just going to use a section of electrical tape, wrap that around where it is sort of misaligned at the bottom. And then I'm just going to go ahead and use my craft knife to cut the sort of excess. And the reason why I am doing this is because I will be using washi tape for this cup particularly. And I know that if I don't trim this now, I will have a hard time making sure that my line of washi tape is truly straight on the cup. So cutting off just this little bit of wonky sort of overlap and misalignment we had, I now am also going to go ahead and go in with my edge, my vinyl cutter, like my edge my cup edging tool is what I mean to say, to trim up the top portion of this cup as well, the vinyl. So the reason why I'm doing this, and I've talked about this in some of the tutorials that I've done where I apply glitter or where I apply vinyl over glitter. And sometimes you can get some puckering with your vinyl towards the top where the glitter is a little bit thicker in some cases towards the top and tries to kind of meet over that top section there, like that sort of bowed area, if that makes sense. And so to sort of avoid that, a good way to do that is to just trim that. And with the semi-transparent vinyl, you couldn't even tell that there was that line there, but we are also going to cover that up with some washi tape. So I just took a 2-inch circle punch that I just got from Joann or Hobby Lobby, I can't even remember, and I just took that little excess of vinyl we had from wrapping it around the top portion of the cup and just use that to create and cut a cute circle that fits perfectly right in the center of the bottom of this cup. A really easy way to just sort of jazz up your tumblers when you're using a vinyl if you don't do anything to the bottom of the cup. I always love to do this if I can, and it's a great way to use that little piece of scrap of vinyl instead of putting it in that scrap bin that we all have of all those small pieces that we never know what we're going to use them for. So of course now I am going to go ahead and go in with this pink metallic washi tape. It's my favorite washi tape right now. All of those metallic bundle of washi tape you can get from Hobby Lobby. Of course, I'll link that down in the description box, but I'm just going to use this to sort of frame out the top and bottom section of this vinyl here, just to sort of make it pop a little bit and make it just a little bit more apparent. So now that I have that washi tape on there, I am going to go ahead and get my decal prepped. So the decals, much like the semi-transparent vinyl, those are also printed with a white backing. So these are perfect for applying again on those dark surfaces, not having to really worry about what color base you're using because it's still going to show up really vibrantly. So I've cut this from the decal sheet, but I am going to further trim it down just so that I can get this placed nicely. I like to trim it as well because it cuts down on the ability of being able to see those edges. Normally after you epoxy, you can't see them, but I like to kind of make the cut a little bit closer and not so large so that there isn't any issue in potentially seeing that. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay this down. What I do also love about these decals is they're really easy to pull up and replace. I mean, I wouldn't pull up the entire decal like after it had been laid nicely, but you really can pull them up. They're pretty heavy duty and strong to be able to pull up and replace if you kind of get a little bit of an edge that starts to bend over on itself or whatever have you. So now we're going to go ahead and get this on the turner and do our final coats of epoxy. So I'm going in with my first of 2 final coats and I've got about 30 mLs mixed up. I think I ended up using a total of 20. to kind of cover this entire tumbler. But this is just sort of my epoxying process. I don't always get a chance to kind of show this. It is kind of, you know, pretty redundant, and this is literally how I epoxy all of my cups. I usually start at the top and work my way down, and then I like to make those up and downward sort of swipes of the epoxy to make sure everything is evenly coated. Finally, we'll give this a good torch to torch any of those bubbles, and we'll let this sit to cure before we apply our final coat of epoxy. So here is that beautiful tumbler on the turner. Look at that gorgeous sign from that Flynn Sisters epoxy. I absolutely love how beautiful and glass-like these come out. But that is kind of it for today's tutorial. Here is the final result of today's look. I hope that you guys enjoyed this sort of Christmas and July theme. Definitely, if you enjoyed today's video, give this video a huge thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye!